Now, over the next 2 nights, heroin addiction, poverty and abuse are going to be discussed in the form of theatre, when 2 award-winning plays will be shown back-to-back in the Access Theatre in Ballymun. Well, our reporter Aisling Reardon has been along to visit rehearsals.
Nervous and excited, director and producer Grace Dias looks on at the final rehearsals of her 2 plays, The Family and Heroin.
So the 2 plays are part of a trilogy of work that TheatreClub are making about the history of Ireland, and they form kind of parts 1 and parts 2 of this trilogy, and the 3rd part is going to be premiered later in the year. So The Family is about kind of the first society, the first place that you grow up, at the home really, and it's kind of a polemic of the Irish family. So we're looking at kind of all the different struggles that are going on for families now, and looking at kind of the particular kind of eccentricities of Irish families, the Irish mother, and all these different things.
You can feel the sun on your back.
So then heroin is a kind of the result of a lengthy investigation that we did into drugs in Ireland and why we've had such endemic heroin epidemics over the last 40 years. So it's a kind of it's a social history that deals with the health, criminality, family as well, politics, everything. So what we tried to do was stage just the complexity of heroin in Ireland's relationship with heroin.
Addiction has never been too far away from Grace. She remembers growing up in Rialto and finding a syringe when she was 9.
And I didn't know what it was or anything, so I thought it was kind of cool looking. And I went over to my brother Sean, who was playing somewhere else, and I told him to close his eyes and put out his hand, and then I put the syringe in his hand. And he's a bit older than me, he was about 12, I'd say, at the time. He opened his hand and went completely mad, because that could have been a disastrous thing that I did. And then we went in and told he threw it away, and then we went in and told my mother about it, and she was so shocked by it, and she didn't know whether to believe it or not, because there was such heightened media stuff about heroin at the time. So I remember she made us draw a picture of what it was, and it was just a really scary thing. And then I think we weren't allowed to kind of play in the front garden after that.
Shane is part of this young Dublin-based theatre collective, and while the issues in the play can be heavy, there's a lot of lighter parts too.
Hey Dari, I'm knocking at your door just to find out what you're doing in there, girlfriend.
So in this scene, what we're doing is showing a little bit of the mischief that goes on between lads in a family. So you see us, first of all, just after getting caught from doing a knick-knack on someone's door, a neighbour's door, and then getting caught for that, trying to find a way out of that, and then also we decide to just do it straight away again to somebody else.
Hey Dari, I'm knocking on your door just to see what you're doing in there.
Dermot from the Ballymun Youth Action Project has dropped in. His organisation has felt the impact of funding cutbacks and feels plays like these are important.
We've always held from the start that drug use and understanding is about individuals, their families and their communities. And we're a community response that was set up in 1981. We're the first of the community responses in Ireland. And from the start, it was local people set it up. They were shocked that 3 young people died in 1981. That's what started it. So we've followed that story all the way through. And as a community response, we believe we do something slightly different. And I think plays like this and a number of other ones that have been done here, and oftentimes in collaboration with people who are using our services, they're very real, but they're telling a story that's different to maybe the dominant message that's put out there about drug use, about their families, and about communities, like this community here in Ballymun, that people here want to make changes and communities want to support those changes.
Now, it's well known that Ballymun has had its ups and downs with addiction, so it's quite relevant that TheatreClub has chosen to put on its 2 performances here. Now, tonight we'll see them perform The Family, and tomorrow night it'll be a double bill with The Family and Heroin.
For more information, just log on to the Access Theatre's website.
And that was Aisling Reardon reporting.